Welcome to the Kendy and Raybo podcast, episode 51, recorded in Kendy's box room.
We're back.
We're back.
Welcome back.
We're back.
I suppose people are probably wondering what happened last week, right?
Too busy.
Well, we just tell them the real story.
All right.
Stop now. What actually happened was Raybo got booked to do a celebrity appearance at a 60th birthday party because of his newfound fame from the Kendy Raybo podcast. And the idea was that he was to burst out of a big cake and sing happy birthday to the woman whose 60th it was.
Right.
And Ray ends up getting stuck in the cake and he couldn't burst out of it. The fire brigade were on hand for 4 days straight. We didn't want to panic anyone, so we didn't say anything.
So you're saying I was stuck in the cake and was precluded from recording?
Yeah,
podcast.
you were supposed to burst out like a Marilyn Monroe job and say happy birthday. You got stuck inside in the cake.
Yeah.
Like I said, the fire brigade were there for 4 days straight.
Trying to cut me out.
Trying to cut him out of it.
Cut the cake.
They were trying to cut the cake. Listen, we got him back. We didn't want to panic anyone. That's why.
How did I survive for could they get water into me and stuff? And
well, you were trying to age your way out of it, mate.
Unsuccessfully, obviously.
Yeah, you didn't work.
Yeah, when you have a fire crew, professional fire crew there.
Yeah, you kept getting a stitch because you couldn't get any water out. Oh, stop a stitch.
Nothing worse than trying to eat cake without tea.
No, tea is the perfect.
So that was my problem. So every time I tried to eat my way out,
you'd no tea.
I'd no tea and I'd have to stop.
Yeah.
Because the mouth was like Gandhi's flip-flop.
Yeah, it's dry enough. But I tell you what, you can't beat a wet sponge though. A wet sponge cake. I was doing
all I could see in my head there was just a wet sponge. I'm going, what is tasty about a wet sponge?
Lads, I was at a wedding last night, Ray, in Lough Eshkin, Donegal. And we took the half-time break, and I wouldn't often go for the cake now.
I always go for the cake.
I go for the cocktail sausage and maybe the old fish and chip.
But would you not have something after you have the savoury bits?
No, I'd have just a wee drop of tea.
Right.
But there was a big trend in the last couple of years of getting the chocolate, what do they call it? What's the
fondant? The chocolate fondant? Is it a fondant?
The chocolate biscuit. The chocolate biscuit cake was massive.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the yolk where you put the marshmallows in.
Oh, that's good too. No, that's lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but a chocolate biscuit is heavy now when you have to go and sing another hour of tunes.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? A chocolate biscuit, man, is hit the back of your throat, man, and next thing you'd be halfway through, shut up and dance, and you'd have a palpitation. So I'd rarely go for the cake, but there was a lovely sponge, and I said, you know what, I'll get it. I was feeling frisky.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely beautiful. There's not all...
But you can't bait a wet sponge cake.
You can't beat a lovely
moist
sponge cake.
Sponge cake.
That's like everyone's pet peeve, that word. But I don't care. Oh my God, Ray, it was divine. And a little drop of jam in between the bits of sponge.
Come here. Speaking of cakes.
Oh, I do time for it, Ray.
Speaking of cakes.
Yeah.
What about the cake that young Niamh Tierney cooked for us?
Now, it was amazing.
We've got many a present over the years.
Yeah.
Over the year. We've got many presents over the year.
Yeah.
But Jesus, Niamh, tell you, to celebrate the 50th episode, Niamh took the bacon she cooked us up a marvellous bit of a cake.
It was lined around the outside.
With fingers.
With chocolate fingers. Ray, I've been fingering all week, man. There's too many of them.
It was. I couldn't eat the fingers.
No, I couldn't get through the fingers.
You can't, after a big, lovely slice of cake, you can't face into a couple of dry old fingers.
I tell you what, man, I did.
They were there for structural reasons.
What you want to do, man, is face the puck out and ate into it. That's all you can do. Niamh, thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thanks to everyone else as well that did loads of stuff. Ray, to see this thing.
We got a wee surprise.
In fairness, Brendan Tierney and all them and Nicola and all them and all the what I call the new recruits of the Wednesday in Fiddlers, you all know who you are. All big podcast listeners. And then little Louisine made up this wonderful 50 episodes. 38 hours, 52 minutes, 49 seconds.
Of rubbish.
2 lads, 1 box room.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it's got the list of all 50 of the episodes that we've done so far.
I have to say, I enjoyed looking back through the list of the episodes and the names.
Yeah,
it's only there now that you'd have an old affiliation for.
No, I can't remember any of them. Like, I mean, you'd wonder looking back at some of them, what the hell were we talking about on them that we got that name for us?
Like Runstipation and the Fancy Delete.
What does that mean? Well, I know what Runstipation is, yeah. Nokia's for chickens. That was your man. That's when we brought the mobile pet farm into the box room.
That was one of my favourite ones.
For some reason, I know since we're on about favourite ones, for some reason, There's two that stand out to me. Jelly Tots and Google Cars.
Google Cars.
I loved that episode.
Yeah.
That was when we had Josh McClory from The Stripes.
And Dara Slack.
And Dara Slack from Dr. Slack and
Dr.
Palpitations.
Slack. He's coming on his holidays to Sligo this week.
No way.
He is.
No,
he's coming down for 3 nights.
Well, there we go. You might hear Dr. Slack on it next week. Who knows? We might try and rope him into it.
Yeah. No, I have to say now, the old surprise now there for the old 50th episode was lovely. It's probably the only time in the next 15 years I'm going to see a cake coming at me with 50 written on it and birthday candles. I freaked out.
You're a lot closer to it than I am, Ray. Was it like looking in a tunnel into your future?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was like the ghost of Ray to come.
It was nice the way they only put like 3 candles on it to kind of, when you see 50 candles on it, then you're talking about a fire crew.
Well, yeah. And the thing about a 50 candler for someone who actually is 50 is, number one, 50 candles is too much, it takes ages to blow out. Yep. And someone who is 50 hasn't got the lung capacity anymore to blow out 50 candles. That's why they invented the numbered candles, them ones.
I like them. The sparkly ones.
Yeah, they're very good though. They're very good.
On the topic of candles, and then going into fire and firefighters, and I know you mentioned that with regard to Kate.
Segues in this show
it popped into my head there.
Unreal.
Have you heard about California?
Why? What's wrong with us?
They're getting earthquakes.
Oh, I heard that, all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think they get the big one?
What do you mean?
The big one.
As in,
Tower and Inferno, the big 9 point something magnitude.
Yeah. Well,
wipe California off the face of the earth.
Well, it mightn't be a bad thing, wipe California off the face of the earth.
I was just thinking about this yesterday. How could you build your house in a place that you know for a fact that at some point it's going to all fall down?
Yeah, it's mad. But sure, that's the same with the San Francisco.
That's right.
Sure, it's built on a fault.
It is.
Says he, that's not my fault.
And then what's worse is the wildfires then as well.
Yeah, well, California is almost... If it wasn't for all the arses that belong to Hollywood, right? And I mean the sweet tuckuses now, and the beautiful people. California looks like hell.
It's not,
It's too hot.
It's very hot.
It shakes and it catches fire.
But you know what you can get
all
now?
it's missing is a 3-pronged rod by riding up the arse. Like, that's all that's missing from California.
Do you know what you can get now? With the whole advent of the old wildfire, what's happened now, and it's typical American, what they've done is they've introduced private firefighting firms.
Oh, lovely. Make pound off it.
So, So there's a gang of lads now you can pay a premium to, that if there is a wildfire in your area, they'll come and they'll save your house, while everybody else is, like, all the neighbours will burn down.
Kind of sounds like a bit of a militia, like a Carrick and Shannon job.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the crack with Carrick and Shannon?
Well, as I said, there, I went, wait a minute, militia, Carrick and Shannon, are we talking about history?
No, we're not talking about history. The crack with Carrick and Shannon is, it is full to the brim with hens and stags.
It is.
Right? But Carrick and Shannon is a relatively small town. So Monday to Friday, there isn't much call for Gardaí.
Hen and stag, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So the Garda station in Carrick and Shannon, there might be 8 lads in there drinking tea, maybe 2 of them out the back smoking fags. It's not a huge force now.
No.
So when the weekend comes, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people hit Carrick and Shannon to enjoy the hens and the stags and the whatever else goes on with it. And so what Carrick have done is every pub in the town has paid a premium every year to pay for private security to come in every Friday and Saturday night.
Get away.
And they are the police force for the weekend along with the guards.
The Carrick Militia.
Yeah, the Carrick Militia.
Wow.
The Carrick Aramusha is what they're called. Yeah, the Carrick Aramusha drive around. And they drive around, I think, in beautiful Audi Jeeps and stuff like that. And that's how Carrick say, we're going to keep hens and stags here, but we're all just going to make sure that
nobody gets out of line.
It's maintained.
Yeah.
And also what I see driving through Carrick all the time as well is locals out cleaning at 2 a.m. Clean, high vis on, Mary and Bride are going down the road, they got tea on the way, and they're cleaning up all bits, like, and some of them are old people now, like, they're not,
I don't know, could I stick
mad
that level of hen and stag every weekend?
I know. You see,
even though we have it in Sligo, but it's more self-contained in Sligo, it's down by the river.
Yeah, we kept them down by the river.
Keep them down by the river.
But also, like, Sligo is slightly bigger. Like, Carrick is just a circle. It's a roundabout.
It's a fancy roundabout.
Carrick is one roundabout.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So California's burning down, Ray. Sorry.
Yeah, that was where I went with that. Cakes, private firefighters.
But there's some places you wonder, why the hell do people live there at all? California is one of them.
Right.
It's absolutely ridiculous to live in California. It's too hot, catches fire, shakes on the ground.
Does.
Right? People live in Hawaii. Do you know what Hawaii is? A volcano. It's one volcano, that's it.
I didn't know that.
The big island of Hawaii is just a volcano.
And would it blow?
Huh? Pompeii looking motherfuckers. Of course it will.
There's another place. Italy.
Yeah.
That's a fancy place to live. And look what happened there.
I know, yeah, but that's only one. Again, that's only an isolated instance in one part. You go down to Lake Garda, man, you get the balls tanned, you be, whatever, eating pasta, it's beautiful.
Have you been to Lake Garda?
I've been to Lake Garda, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
When?
The Lake Garda Síochána. I went to Lake Garda when I was about 16.
Did
on
you?
A school tour.
Go on.
Yeah, all the people who had money in the school were allowed to go on the school tour. So
How did you get in the bus?
you know, there was a lot of smugness of the 40 people kind of getting onto the bus going, you know,
What was
my family's not on welfare. My family's not on welfare. My family was on welfare. I don't know how we got the money. Here's, again, I've alluded to this before. Like, well, I was spoiled rotten as a kid, like, but we didn't have that kind of money. I mean, my parents were angels. Like, I should not have been going on that Lake Garda tour. It was dear.
What was the purpose of the Lake Garda tour?
Just, they used to organise a tour for like 50 years, you know.
Was it to hand the ball to yourself?
Well, I didn't get the balls to hand to myself. It was to enjoy green pasta. I saw green pasta for the first time in my life when I was out there.
What's green pasta?
It's green pasta. Apparently, it's
nice.
I like old pasta that you get in Super Value.
Right.
It was tremendous. We went to Venice.
Yeah.
Venice is made up of...
Venice is flooded.
No, it's about 150 or something small man-made islands. What they did is they chopped down the small forest and they drove every tree trunk into the lake.
Yeah.
And then they built on top of all them tree trunks.
Mad thing too.
Hundreds of thousands of tree trunks. Now, the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life, the smelliest place I've ever seen in my life.
Venice was.
They don't have any sewage system there.
Oh, it's hard to have a sewage system when it's built on water.
I know, yeah.
Where would you put the septic tank like?
That is the sewage system, is the water in there. But I mean, it's amazing that they actually built it. Like,
was there a lot of pigeons?
Loads of pigeons.
Are you afraid of pigeons?
We went to St. Mark's Basilica or something, whatever the hell it was called. I'm not afraid of pigeons at all. I saw one fella putting breadcrumbs in his child's hood. I said, they'll peck the jaw of him. Francisco, they will peck the jaw clean off him.
I'm very good at trying to rehabilitate people that have a fear of pigeons. I just tend to try and walk them through them. So come on now.
Walk through pigeons.
Walk through the pigeons. You'll get friendly with them. Everything will be fine.
But here's the thing. Kids aren't afraid of pigeons, Ray.
Because when was the last time you heard a pigeon kill someone?
Yeah, that's the truth.
When was the last time you heard a pigeon assaulted someone?
They don't have that, Miska. They're not pigeon racist, kids. And that's the great thing about kids. They accept everyone. I saw a child, Ray, outside the Gar Vogue. Now, not of a drinking day, like during the day. Sun is shining. His mammy was sitting down drinking tea. The child was chasing the pigeons for ages.
Yeah.
And he was chasing them and the pigeons would fly off and then they'd land again.
But the pigeons would never get annoyed.
No, they'd land again. They were enjoying it just as much as he was. And here's the thing, Ray. I spent a lot of money trying to entertain myself.
Right. Sorry.
I spent a lot of money trying to entertain myself. I'd be buying PlayStation games.
Yeah.
I'd be buying new guitars. I'd be ordering fights on pay-per-view. I'd be buying every TV channel, Netflix, YouTube. Keep me entertained by spending money.
Mm-hmm.
That 6-year-old child I saw, it cost him nothing to chase them pigeons around.
Yeah.
And it was the happiest I've ever seen anyone in my life.
And you see some people that are afraid of them. And I'd like them to become friendly with them.
Yeah.
Because they don't kill anyone.
Yeah, pigeons are, well, they are called flying rats now.
No, that's someone who called them that.
Yeah.
That's a nasty thing to say about
Bastard
pigeons.
flying rats. Yeah. And come here.
The little kind of bobbing them. Do you know, they're kind of just bobbing. Do you know, the head up and back and up and back.
And come here, Ray, what's the name of the website?
What website?
I don't know, like...
they're rehabilitating people.
Yeah, believe the pigeons or something. hashtag them too.
Them too, yeah. Hashtag cuckoo.
And woo! And we're back.
No, there's something now we're talking about pigeons and then something came into my head there. Oh, yeah. You were talking about spending a load of money on pleasuring yourself.
Which does it sound?
It just dawned on me there that you just mentioned to me before we came on air that you're going selling a few bits.
I'm selling a few bits.
Sure, which is why you won't use the podcast. There's a couple of hundred people listening that they might want to buy the few bits.
No.
What have you got to sale?
Item number one is a beautiful 5-string Lakeland guitar.
Right.
Bass guitar.
Bass guitar. Make the difference there, yeah.
Let me tell you.
They'll think that's just a broken guitar.
No, it is a bass guitar, right?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, this thing can nearly talk to you.
Right. It'll nearly play itself.
It'll nearly play itself, this thing now.
What kind of a person would you think would be suited to such a beautiful musical instrument?
Anyone from, like, we'll say, a guy who's never picked up a guitar before to someone who's played a guitar their entire life. Somewhere in that spectrum.
Okay.
And also to someone who thinks they don't want it.
Right.
To someone who thinks that it's all they ever need. Someone within all that. So if you're within those bandwidths,
what colour
please get in touch with me. It's what they call a sunburst.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, the sun is bursting out of us.
And come here, how much are you letting it go for?
You're talking the far side of a DM me.
Oh, right.
I ain't telling people how much my stuff is worth. They'll rob the house of me.
That's true. But we've never actually given out the number of the house.
No, don't ever give out the number of the house.
Okay.
Get in touch with the Kendy if you want Lakeland. There's also
What else is there?
There's also a custom level 5. This thing has about 1,000 different colours.
What's a custom? Oh, it's
like
another bass.
A fella called Matt Pulsinella made this bass, and it's a one of a kind. You will not see another one in the world. Yeah. And that is actually true as God. He built this guitar for himself,
right,
and then sold it. But he builds guitars all the time. This thing now, Ray, I haven't said this about a guitar before.
Yeah,
I truly believe it. This thing can nearly talk to you.
Okay.
This show.
Right, okay.
It's that good.
It's that good.
She got a maple neck.
Yeah.
She got a body that is as light now as a supermodel.
What else are you selling?
I'm selling all pedals, all mannerisms of pedals. If you're a bass player, I have it, lads.
Yeah.
Come out and have a chat with me, says I.
Right.
And
slide into your DMs.
Slide into me DMs.
Very good.
And Ray, there's loads more stuff.
That's good. Now we got that hidden because you'll be struggling to sell that stuff.
Now you know. And the reason I'm doing it is because at the age of 27, I'm becoming less and less materialistic every day, Ray.
What about the beers?
Oh, when we get into the beers,
we're a couple of minutes in now. We're not getting no beers or nothing. Yeah.
So these are courtesy of Gracie, who brought them all over. You're drinking a hipster ale because the big hipster's heading you.
Funny thing now, I think you should be the one drinking the hipster ale.
No.
What have you got?
My one's called a bikini beer, and I'm the only one that has the tuchus for a bikini.
That is very true.
Huh?
I wouldn't look well in a bikini.
Man, you have the chassis of, an old Cortina. I have the chassis of a Ferrari, man.
I'd be more a scenic.
Cheers. Sláinte. Bikini beer and a hipster
beer. Thanks, Gracie. If she's gone fuzzy, you're spilling it on the carpet. Now who's the boy, huh?
Oh, check that bit of suction, lads, out there. Did you enjoy that sound of a sucky?
There's a bit of a drip going on there, lad. Woo! Just they're nice.
Oh, this is pure premium shit, man. We ain't buying this stuff in Aldi.
Evil Twin Brewing.
It took her ages to pick these, so she really thought about it, a lot.
Did you hear the story about the hospital?
Okay, talk to me, Ray. I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard the story?
No, I heard a story about a hospital.
A hospital and a cake. Right. This is in the news during the week.
Okay.
And I only briefly heard bits of it, so whatever way I'm going to retell this is probably going to be grossly inaccurate.
Doesn't matter.
I think it was in England.
Okay. Straight away, we're on the hearsay. I think it was in England.
Yeah. So there was a lad, right? And his son had a birthday party.
Okay.
And the crack was good. And then this lad, anyway, was going to visit the hospital the following day. He had someone in the hospital.
All right.
And he was going to visit. And he said he'd bring the son's cake, what was left of it.
Oh, lovely.
Into the hospital.
Lovely gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's big cake.
Okay.
So he brought it in and he gave it to the nurses to divvy it up amongst all the patients.
Oh, lovely.
In the ward.
Right.
So they did.
Right.
And the nurses had a slice, the way you would like.
Yeah.
Everybody has. It might well have been some class of a moist cream sponge.
Oh, if it only it was.
Do you know?
I can picture it.
I can definitely say it wasn't a biscuit cake.
Right.
So they all had a bit, and all the patients had a bit.
Aye.
Problem was, the young fella's cake wasn't necessarily a normal cake.
No way.
Full of stuff.
No way.
Absolutely full of stuff.
Riddled
with it.
Laced.
Absolutely.
No way.
Mm.
Everyone got shammed out of it.
Everybody got shammed out of it on the ward. Everyone. Nurses, patients, the whole lot.
How old was the young fella?
I don't know.
Who puts...
Oh, well, I'm sure he was 18 or something.
Oh, he must have been. I mean, you wouldn't go to a 6-year-old's birthday party and get everyone shammed out of it. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
I said it was a good day in that ward now.
That was a good day in that ward.
I said there wasn't a whole lot done now. A lot of work done.
I'd say they felt a lot better.
Yeah.
I'd say the nurses felt better about their jobs. I'd say the patients felt better about their illnesses.
Yeah. The nurses were, no, we're not striking this week.
No.
We couldn't. It's beautiful outside.
Beautiful outside.
How could you be striking? Can we be all right?
Isn't it an awful pity, though, that it's kind of illegal?
Yeah, but listen, I don't do it, Ray, at all, but I don't see why it's legal.
Yeah.
We're drinking a beer here that's way worse for you.
Absolutely.
Way worse.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very soon that we see it legalised in Ireland. It's getting legalised all over Medici. Boys going down the road, the smell of the place.
Yeah, I love the smell.
Oh, the smell of America, it's an awful smell.
You don't like it?
Oh, it's piggery smell. It's awful smell.
You say it smells like a piggery.
It's terrible. I hate the smell of it. So that's what would annoy me if I was walking around Colorado or California. Not only would the earth be shaking and be balls sweating off me and the place on fire, but I'd be smelling this dirty old, smelly old...
It'd be all shammed out of it as well.
And everyone would be shammed out of it. You wouldn't get nothing done. Hang on now, I'm not changing my tune immediately. Why don't we legalise it? Ray, you get nothing done. That's why you don't legalise it. You get nothing done in the country. It's hard enough to get anyone do anything nowadays. You want to get everyone shammed out of it now? I'm completely against it now, actually.
Completely against it, right.
They legalise it. I'm out of here.
Is that that's not that doesn't have to be the podcast position now. That's just your position.
No, it's Kendy's position.
Okay.
And I know I took a big 180 there all of a sudden. But I got a chance to really contemplate it in my head.
I'm glad.
I am completely anti-marry Joanna.
Anti what?
Marry Joanna.
Oh, so, I thought you were talking about something completely different there.
Aye.
Yeah.
Marry Joanna, yeah, whatever the hell they call it. I'm against it.
You know,
It's not for me. You can A-hit now.
What?
Sorry, no, I don't know about that.
You can, of course.
You can A-hit it. You're saying obviously you can A-hit in the cake.
Yeah.
You can A-hit in a jelly baby now.
What?
So now they're trying to get kids on it now. Is that what you're at?
You don't get it in jelly babies.
They're called the stars of death or whatever the hell, and they come in little. You either come in a star jelly or a little baby. What do they call them?
How come I've never seen these?
A jelly baby, full to the brim with it, and it'd blow the can. Man, your ancestors would be high after eating this thing. You get shammed.
Speaking of ancestors,
Go on.
have you heard of Doggerland?
Doggerland.
Yeah.
No, what's that?
Never heard of it.
No.
I was listening to an old podcast about Doggerland there during the week.
What is it? What does it mean?
Doggerland is the sea between England and the Netherlands. So the sea between England and mainland Europe.
Okay.
That's called Doggerland.
No, it's not.
It is. Well, there's it's the Doggerland Reef or something like under.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that sea called though?
Oh, the sea is the North Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But what they've realised is that a couple of 8,000 years ago, we'll say, that all that land was there.
I mean, that was land. It was a
It was
walkway.
land, yeah, because the water levels was like 120 metres less.
Yeah.
And there was people living there.
No way.
Yeah. In
That's mad.
Doggerland.
Jeez, that's mad. Because they reckon loads of the world was like that. But sure, do you know the old last sea of Atlantis, Ray?
Yes.
Did you know that could be true?
Oh, I well believe it to be true.
Because they found somewhere in some desert, yet again, absolute hearsay coming out of our mouths. I don't know. We have no facts to back
The
any of
research
this
we
up.
do is shocking. Shocking bad.
They found like 6 cities built on top of each other underneath land that had been washed over.
Really?
Mad.
Where was
Yes.
that?
You know, somewhere just you go past Kinnegad.
I can hear you panicking. I
No,
can
no.
actually in your
You go just straight past Kinnegad. You can stop at Mother Hubbard's if you want,
Right.
and then straight on into the airport, and then get a flight to it.
Whatever happened to Mother Hubbard's?
But sure, didn't they build the motorway?
I know.
I drove past it on the way to a wedding last weekend.
Is it a museum now?
Man, I tell you, 'tis like something that you'd see in like an apocalyptic film.
Oh God.
The sign is kind of half hanging off at the
Yeah.
front. It's still open.
Wow.
But there ain't no one stopping at us. Because when you were going to Dublin back in the day, Ray, it was a big ordeal and a long journey. Now you get to Dublin in 2 hours.
But you still stop in Ballinallack.
I'd stop the odd time in Ballinallack, yeah. No, yeah, you would. I blame Pat McDonough.
You think?
No. And Pat, if you're listening, sue me all you want. He's suing half the country.
You don't like Pat though.
I'm a big fan of Pat now. But I blame Pat McDonough. He bought every drop of land in this country, and anywhere there's a main road, he said, I'm slapping a Pappy John's and a Supermax above and top of it.
And the super subs,
And a Super Subs.
which is a cheap subway.
But Mother Hubbard's, man, I'm telling you, it is almost. I drove past it, I couldn't believe it. There was no one outside it, but still open. We used to pull in there and get the full fry. Oh, on the way up to a match. Oh Lord above.
Speaking of matches,
Go on. What? I know.
I was watching it yesterday.
Oh, you buy.
Well, Galway beat Mayo. Clearly not on this occasion.
Listen, I last night we were doing a Mayo wedding, even though it was in Donegal.
Right.
And like I said, I have a big affiliation with Galway. And I listened to the match and watched it on the way down. And Galway got bet, and I was vexed. And they played shite. And I think probably Kevin Walsh's tenure has come to an end. But
Who's Kevin Walsh?
the manager of Galway.
right.
And
So uneducated.
Mayo deserved it. That's where Mayo come into their own, man. And they love those qualifier games.
They do, because all of a sudden they get a bit of playing time.
Connacht title doesn't suit them, man. Right?
No.
They want dirty, gritty games where they can
Now,
stand.
I have to talk about this now.
Go on.
I watched it.
Yeah.
And I watched the second half at least.
Uh-huh.
It's got awful rough.
Yeah, it's not a game of football.
There's more pushing and shoving and clattering and banging and shouting at each other.
Yeah. Listen, Ray, you're right. So I would have stopped watching it years ago only for I'd watch anything.
But the poor ref, his heart was broke.
I know, but there's nothing he can do, man. It's
All he was going doing waving cards at people.
yeah, the game has become cynical. The black card hasn't helped it. The game is still cynical because when it comes down to the last 10 minutes of a game, if you're up by 3 points, it doesn't matter. Go get yourself a black card. We bring a fella on.
Was there a situation where the Galway lads were going, right, we're not going to get this. Let's take out as many Mayo players as possible so that as they go forward, there'll be a weakened team and won't get anyone.
I don't think
That's kind of the feeling I got.
No, it was pure laziness, and I'm not running after them anymore.
I'm just going to pull them down.
That's what happens because these boys aren't built for it. Like they're not. It's the game. The game is dead. That's why hurling is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the longest we've spoke about something where I've actually been interested.
But listen, I had to. So I was vexed after the game yesterday. I was kind of going like,
I don't understand why you're vexed.
Well, just you know. Well, listen. What did I say to you a couple of episodes ago? I don't mind what's going on as long as people are beating Mayo.
Right.
Okay,
this wasn't good.
When you come from Connacht, you can't. If you're not from Mayo, you got to hate Mayo.
Yeah.
I will say you have the best supporters in the world. That place. They brought them down to the Gaelic grounds in Limerick.
That's another thing, though.
Uh-huh.
I got the feeling that there was a lot of people in the stands that they were nearly being kept in the stands for fear of what they do to the Galway lads that was pulling down the Mayo lads. There was real aggression in that stand.
Yeah. Well,
like when there be a bit of puck thrown, do you know, or one lad to get a belt.
Yeah.
You just the camera would pan to the stand, and all of a sudden everybody would be like, "They'll be pure tick."
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to let them on the pitch.
They'll end up like your man, was his name, Patton or whatever, the outfit that went onto the pitch in the All-Ireland semi-final, wasn't it?
What happened there?
He went down onto the pitch and attacking the umpire and they had to drag him off.
That's it.
Yeah, Mayo
shocking.
fan.
They're about what you call the yokes with the pitchforks. Remember when there used to be witches around?
Yeah.
And there used to be what do you call the big
Salem Mayo trials.
Oh.
The Mayo minor trials. That's what it was called.
No.
You mean the Mayo minor trials?
No, I don't. I mean, what do you call the gang of people that go after? You know, when they had them on The Simpsons every now and again
KKK.
with the pitchforks, and they were not a militia. They were something else. They were
an Aramusha.
No, they weren't Aramusha. Oh, Jesus, it's bothering me now that I can't think of this. I'll tell you a joke, and it might come to me after.
We haven't even finished this story.
I know, but I'm going to tell I'm going to tell the joke.
Okay, go on, yeah.
So that it'll just take my mind off it for a second, and I'll come back and I'll think of it instantly.
Okay.
Let's see, does this work?
Okay, what?
It will.
Go on, tell me a joke.
Okay, so two cowboys were sitting in their fort. Okay. And they knew the Indians were going to attack, right? So in the Wild Wild West, they knew the Indians were going to attack, and they could hear the sound of distant drums in the hills. You know, if you're cowboys in a fort and you know you're going to get attacked, not a nice sound to hear.
Yeah, the Indians aren't great now at stealth.
Yeah.
They start walloping the drums.
Yeah, so they were playing the old drums, baiting away at the drums there in the distance. And one cowboy turned to the other cowboy and said, I don't like the sound of them drums. And then they heard a faint voice in the distance. He's not a regular drummer.
Maybe 25%. 25% of the people that listen to this are
Oh,
going.
I'm after getting a pain in my head there now. Oh, no. That's very funny.
Did it bring it back to you?
No.
Was it an Aramusha in the end of it all?
Oh, what do you call it? No, I haven't. No, we're not going any further than we figure it out. Folks, I hope you're screaming at the radio or whatever you're listening to this on the phone. What do you call a bunch of people with pitchforks that are mad after, getting a bit of justice?
Oh.
A mob.
No, well, a mob, but there's another word for it.
There's another word.
Oh. Oh, it's on the top of my tongue. Oh, come on.
Squeeze it out, lad. Squeeze it out. I'm getting dizzy here. Oh, not a militia.
Oh.
Not a mob.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Ray. It's there.
Mob mentality.
A vigilante.
The vigilante group.
Let's go. I had to think about
No,
Batman.
is it a vigilante group?
Yeah, it's a vigilante group. Yeah, like Batman. He takes the law into his own hands.
Jeez, I don't think that's it either.
Well, that's what I was thinking of.
Feck it anyway. There'll be a little break here now while I look this up.
Please enjoy this elevator music.
Mob.
Witch trials. Mob, witch trials.
I don't know what to look up. Which group of people? Group of people. No, we're not talking about aftershave. Group of people taking the law.
I was going to say vigilante group, man.
Into their own hands. So let's see what comes up. Take the law into their own hands. Situation. Which Old West. Feck it. You say it's a vigilante group.
I reckon it is a vigilante group.
Yeah, it might be a vigilante group.
It is a vigilante group, man. They're heading it.
Vigilantisms. Mob justice. What do they call it, though?
Vigilantes! I'm just telling you, it says it on your phone.
I don't think it's that. Angry mob vigilante group. It's not. It's something else.
It's telling you on your phone.
Shut up, bro. Hold on. Is Nicola still downstairs?
Will you stop?
Let me unlock the door here. Hold on a second. Nicola, what do you call a big group of people that are that kind of take law into their own hands and start chipping down the street with a load of pitchforks and stuff? Oh, she's not there, is she?
She's not here at all.
Nicola?
She must be down the bookies.
We have to ring someone.
I forgot. It's a vigilante group, Ray.
It's not a vigilante group. There's another fucking name in it. And it's bothering me that we can't think of it.
It was a different shark.
Jaws 2.
It's vigilante 2, man. It was a different group.
Oh, mob, vigilante.
Listen, if you know what the word Ray, that's the only thing we could do is send it out to the people again. Come here. Have you ever seen Anton? Like, I haven't been able to look at Instagram for 2 days because all I've seen is Westlife.
I hear there's quite a furore.
Every story. Were we the only two bastards weren't at it?
Yeah.
The whole of Sligo went. I said there was no one in the Garvox that had night.
But of course the whole of Sligo went.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they go for the town?
Did they look good? Did it sound good?
Apparently, Nicola went to it Friday.
Mm-hmm.
She loved it. She bought a Westlife jersey.
She went to it?
Yeah. 2 questions I asked her.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, what was the sound like? She said, sounded good.
Good.
Second question was, did they all sing? She says, they did all sing. I said, did they all sing a solo? She said, yeah. And I don't want to, they don't listen to this, feck it. I said, so you're telling me...
I was waiting for you to go full in. Go.
You're telling me Keen Egan and Nicky Byrne sang solos on that stage?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah. I said, what did it sound like? She said, Nicky wasn't too bad, is what she said.
Right. Leave it there.
Now, Mark Feely and Shane Filan have 2. I heard Instagrams of, and you can't get the full justification off Instagram, but Mark Feely, man, he has some James Joyce. He is unbelievable. But I noticed something when from also asked Nicola what did they play and what did they do, and she said, oh, the big Queen medley and all that kind of stuff. Westlife are a glorified cover / wedding band.
Right. I heard something getting hit there.
She's getting vexed.
She's getting vexed. Right.
Because, so they did a big Queen medley.
Yeah.
They do Michael Bublé covers, Billy Joel covers.
Yeah. And they do all their own songs that were written by other people.
They do all their own songs that were written by other people. But there's feck all of them, and they're not the famous ones.
Right.
The famous ones are the ones that they've covered from other people as well.
Yes, of course.
So, there was 4 of them on the stage. No band, like backing tracks.
Yeah.
Plug in the MP3 player there, lads.
Yeah, and 4 radio mics.
Yeah, and 4 radio mics.
Yeah. It's an easy gig.
It's a handy one now. And, like, they could go into the wedding business. I think they're missing out, like. Because they're only doing 2 gigs a year now. I could get them 100 gigs, like. Louis Walsh, listen to me. Louis Walsh is keeping all the pound from them boys. And he's giving them about 2 gigs a year. Mm-hmm. If you let me manage you Westlife, I'll get you 60 weddings a year to start off. I won't be keeping all the pound. I'll just be taking a shortcut out of it.
A shortcut?
Yeah. Small cut.
Small cut, yeah.
And you won't be doing 2 gigs a year anymore. I'll have you out on the road every weekend. I get you a van. I get you a PA.
Yeah.
And you'll flood the wedding scene, man. They'll blow all of us out of business. Hot Fuzz, Gorilla Radio, Blue Moose.
The whole lot.
Pink Champagne, fucking Brian McDermott. We'd all be out of business.
Yeah.
So get in touch, Westlife, if you want. Louis is a waste of time, that fella.
Did I ever tell you the story about... I don't think I told you this.
Okay.
A couple of months back,
right,
Westlife were rehearsing for this tour.
Right.
And they were rehearsing abroad in Strandhill.
Yeah, that's probably top secret, I would say.
It was, and I don't think actually...
You couldn't tell?
I couldn't say this in the podcast that time because they were doing it presently.
Okay.
As in they did a couple of weeks abroad in Strandhill.
Well, maybe don't say because if they're rehearsing again, that's where they'll pick. Just say Strandhill.
Okay. So,
like this.
So they were rehearsing in Strandhill and they needed mic stands. And of course, Vinnie Higgins, Sligo's premier mic stands provider, got the call. He got the call. And he says to him, we need 4 straight up mic stands.
Right, straight as a die.
Not the fancy ones.
Yeah, not
the bendy ones.
Yeah, the boomies.
They wanted straight up mic stands.
Yeah.
So Vinny only had 3 straight up mic stands.
Okay.
So he rang me and he says, have you a straight up mic stand? I said, I do.
You got called in for this?
I got called in to supply a mic stand to the Westlife boys.
No way.
But not only that, Vinny says, I'm fierce busy, because you know the way Vinny he'd be flat out.
Oh, he'd just be flat out,
He'd be flat out,
He's doing
Vinny.
the Dermots and Daves and the whole lot.
Everybody.
Fella.
He's doing every gig that comes.
He's doing everyone.
Yeah. So he says, Ray, can you drop these out to an undisclosed location in Strandhill?
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't say where they were rehearsing in case they go back rehearsing in Strandhill. We're not going to ruin things for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I tipped out with my 4 mic stands.
No way.
And I arrived in an undisclosed location.
Yes.
And I went in the door. It was very nondescript.
Right.
And I went in the next door. And who was there? Only the 4 boys.
The 4 boys.
And the book that was showing them the dance moves.
Oh, they were dancing away.
Well, they weren't dancing when I landed in.
Right.
They were talking about dancing.
Right.
So when I landed in, there was talks about dancing.
Did you teach them the Kendy 2-step?
Well, I got a little bit starstruck.
Oh, great.
I did. How could you not?
Would. No, you would.
Because, you know, when you see 4 people on the telly the whole time, or painted up on a wall there up at the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like It's almost like their solo careers. When you see them on their own, you're kind of going, "Oh, that's your man."
Yeah.
Then when you see them together, you go, "That's Westlife."
That's Westlife.
That's Westlife.
There's power in that, like.
Because we used to see Mark Feely tipping around in fiddlers and all that stuff. I mean, like I said,
phases.
Definitely the best singer in that group.
Yeah.
But and you go, there's himself.
Yeah.
Huh.
And young Shane Finally around Christmas as well. Yeah,
That's
you
right.
get him up for song again. Sound.
Yeah.
You know, and you'd see the book on the telly, and you'd hear the lad on the radio.
That's right.
But when you see the four of them together,
You go, that's
Westlife.
That's Westlife.
Yeah.
lads.
So I kind of awkwardly came in the door going, "Are you looking for mic stands?" And I went, "Oh yeah, great." And I went out, got them, brought them in, and
No way.
yeah.
And were
That's
they
fierce awkward.
Were they like,
I
holy
wanted
shit, that's Raybo from the Kendy Raybo podcast?
I don't think any of them said that.
Fuck's sake. Jesus, you should have asked him to come on. Come here. How would you think Brian McFadden feels now? He's
Left
sitting,
out.
Scratching his balls.
He feels very left out.
He's sitting at home drinking tea, scratching his balls.
I don't think he regrets it. I don't think it was for him.
No?
I don't think it
Was he able to sing?
Oh, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, he did songs.
All right, okay. It's a pity, you know.
I don't think he feel like he. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Do you know what the big problem is with these bands?
What?
They all think if they go out on their own, they'll end up like Robbie Williams.
True. Robbie
No.
Williams did do that.
He left and
But you look at Niall
became
Horan.
bigger. Niall Horan. Yeah, but Niall did a couple of songs. Where is he now? What's he doing now?
He's taking a break.
He's taking a break. Is he?
He's taking a break.
Listen, I'm not saying any of these people are bad around. Niall Horan is class, like, and I love his songs that he released are savage. Like.
What about his best mate, Lewis Capaldi?
Huh?
Did you see his entrance at Glastonbury?
No.
Did you not see it?
No, I know he's supposed to be go crack this Lewis.
Oh, Lewis is a great crack. He's
Yeah.
better crack than you.
Okay, that is.
That's one thing I noticed about him. He is better crack than you.
Oh, okay, that's good then. But he can't sing like me, so it doesn't matter.
Well, he's a very good singer.
Yeah, a good singer, like.
He
but
can't sing like you, obviously.
Can't have it all, Ray. Not everyone can have it all.
But anyway, Glastonbury, he landed out, and obviously, you might have heard that Noel Gallagher didn't like him.
Why not?
No, well, sure, Noel Gallagher doesn't like it. The Gallaghers don't like people.
I don't think Gallagher likes anyone.
No. So Noel, anyway, he threw him some shade online,
Okay.
do you know? And young Lewis decided to react in the only way he knew how.
Okay.
So at the start of his Glastonbury set, he played the clip of Noel Gallagher saying who the is Lewis Capaldi.
No way.
And he played it a couple of times over and kept repeating it. And then Lewis Capaldi came out in a big parka jacket and one of the fancy Noel Gallagher hats.
No
So he
way.
came out dressed like Liam.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he took it all off. Not everything, but he took off the jacket and the hat. And what was he wearing? Only like a white t-shirt with a love heart and Noel Gallagher's face in the middle of the love heart.
Oh, my God.
That's marvellous.
He's good crack.
Oh, he's fierce crack.
He looks a little bit like a guy who lives under the bridge. He has a little bit of a homeless head in him, is all. But I tell you, he's a chanter. He is a chanter, boy. He can sing like. It's just, I don't know.
Where does this stuff come into your head?
I don't know. I
Oh,
haven't a clue,
that's
man.
it. That's it now. We're not going to be able to get him on the show.
Lewis Capaldi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, was he coming on, was he?
Well, I was hoping to get him.
Oh, yeah, good man.
Yeah. But then again, I suppose Noel threw shade at him and got his attention.
There's
Suppose
more
it-
chance of getting Philomena Begley on this now than there is of getting him.
Would you have
Lewis.
any interest in getting Philomena?
I'd love to have
Begley?
Philomena Begley on my bed. Sit down in the bed here in the box room.
We could ask her.
Let's get Philomena on.
We've a bit of housekeeping to do
Okay.
before we wrap up.
Yeah, go, yeah.
You're still not listening to Love Island, I suppose.
I heard that the shit hit the fan. Did Curtis Slave Amy? Did he go for a fella yet?
No.
He needs to go for a fella.
You think he needs to go for a fella?
I'm not saying anything about him. I think he'd probably be happier with a fella,
Right.
if I'm honest.
With young Tommy Fury.
Maybe Anna. Maybe that fella.
Stop it now.
Huh?
Come here, another question. Amber and Michael broke up.
I
See
know.
that?
Yeah. He picked some other young one.
It's a fine young one. Young
It's
Joanna.
just, I can't get over the fact that he fell in love with someone else. It's unbelievable. He was in love with Amber, now he's in love with someone else.
No,
Oh
he
my
had a
God.
connection with
Oh,
Amber.
I got a connection.
Now he has a better connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Is this something to do with Wi-Fi?
No, it's not.
Was he getting 4G with the other one? Was he
No.
using her data? He had a
No.
better connection.
No.
So he was using her phone as a hotspot.
No.
And he said, I got a better connection with her on her 4G.
Yeah.
She got a better plan for abroad. She's with Vodafone, 60 quid a month.
Are you watching it
I
at
have
all?
to- No, I seen all this stuff, yeah.
Oh, did you?
I've seen all this crack going on, yeah.
Anton finally got home one.
Oh, did he? The Scott He's going to win it, by the way.
Do you think?
Yeah.
He got his arse shaved there yesterday.
Did you get the air shaved from
He got the arse. Would you shave your arse?
I probably
Have
could-
you shaved your
No, I
arse?
could probably do with it, though. It's 27 years overdue now at this stage.
It hasn't been shaved in 27
Man.
years.
Tis a dark spot now at this stage. Tis an unknown woods. Never once ventured into.
Do you think...
There's
do you
no
think-
sat nav for this yoke.
Do you think the hair on your arse makes up some of the mass of your tuchus? You know, if you shaved your arse, that you'd end up looking like Sean O'Reilly.
It's actually just a bit of dowdy fluff.
Yeah, you're a
It's
bit like Samson. If you take the hair off it, he's got no power.
Yeah, no. There's loads of new ones in it now.
Yeah,
Jeez, I can't keep up.
That's very hard.
I absolutely can't keep up. I can't believe Anna's still in it, that fella. It's mental, like, that he's still in it. I just...
Stop.
It staggers me.
Stop it.
Is your man still in it, Lucy? Is she still crying?
She is still crying.
So who's going to go out with that? I mean, why would you have any interest in this yoke that's bawling her eyes out every day? No, fuck off.
Have you looked at her?
I've seen the cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she has the most sour puss I've ever seen in my life.
That's because she's getting a tough time.
She's not getting a tough time,
She
Ray.
is getting a tough time. She can't find love.
But sure, she's not going to find love.
But she's in a house full of lovely people.
Yeah, but what she needs to do is relax into it and let love find her.
True.
That is 50 quid, Ray. Thank you very much.
The next question. When I say we did talk about our 52nd episode.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned about doing a live show.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I made some inquiries.
Okay.
Yeah. There's nowhere big enough. I've checked.
Did you try the 3 Arena?
I tried it. It's booked out. There's nowhere big enough.
Westlife at Grove Park.
Yeah.
Are you not going to do it, no?
No, well, at the moment, there's nowhere available to do it in.
Okay. So we're going to
So
have
we're
to
going to have
reevaluate.
to postpone it a little bit.
Yeah, and let's reevaluate it because also, now that you've said that, can I tell you what my real strife is with this?
Go on.
Episode 52 means nothing now, Ray.
We're
on the air 13 months.
I realise that, chap.
It means not 50 is the big one.
Yeah. This is episode 51 now.
Yeah.
And I actually missed the significance of 50.
Yeah, I blew in the face telling you. Ray, 52 has nothing to do with it.
Oh, no.
You were so intent on 52 being the one.
I got so distracted.
But look, this is the start of our second... We're into the second half
We're not
century.
yet now.
You know?
We've another one to do yet.
Yeah, but what do you mean?
Well, 52 was like the year.
What's you on about, man? It means it has no significance.
You're right.
It's the most random number to pick. I'm sorry. Come here, man. I bet you were something about episode 63. Huh? Just to mark it, like, you know, just to mark the occasion.
Yeah.
Big one, episode 63. Anyway, welcome back. Sorry about that, the week off. And we hope you enjoyed episode 51 of the Kendy Raybo podcast.
Now, I'm going to finish off with this.
Okay, yeah.
Are you familiar with Chuck Norris?
Yeah. I heard a great joke about Chuck Norris recently. Chuck Norris...
Now, you know what the first rule of Chuck Norris is?
What?
You don't talk about Chuck Norris.
Hey, Ray. Chuck Norris is the only man to go to a feminist rally and come back with his shirt ironed.
And you know, there's some people that don't know who Chuck Norris is.
No, here's the thing. Chuck Norris is a legit martial artist. He's not just an actor. He knows what he's at.
Yeah.
Like, you should not fuck with Chuck Norris.
But there's some great ones. Oh, no.
That's my favourite one, by the way.
Chuck Norris does not wear a condom because there is no such thing as protection from Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris counted to infinity twice.
Hey, Superman wears Chuck Norris pajamas. Yeah. That's a good one.
They once made a Chuck Norris brand toilet paper, but it wouldn't take shit from anyone. When Chuck Norris sends in his taxes, he sends a blank form and includes only a picture of himself crouched and ready to attack. Chuck Norris has never had to pay taxes, ever.
You like Foster and Allen.
Chuck Norris can win a game of Connect 4 in only 3 moves. Chuck Norris is the only man to ever defeat a brick wall in a game of tennis. Chuck Norris doesn't churn butter. He roundhouse kicks the cows and the butter comes straight out.
Come here. Chuck Norris is a man after your own heart because it need a big ginger.
He is, but now I'm strawberry blonde now, in fairness, but...
Well...
But speaking of gingers,
go on.
I have to give a big shout out to Barry O'Sullivan.
Right.
And his beautiful fiancée, Grace.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, they had a baby.
Lovely.
They did.
That's marvellous.
Yeah.
There's
There's only one thing.
Congratulations, guys. There's only one thing.
Barry he has possibly inferred the fact that the baby possibly might be ginger.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
That's fine.
Poor bastard.
But it's not good for Barry.
Oh, no. Look, the great thing is, the quality of life of gingers nowadays is way better than it was a long, long time ago.
On now, back up. There's nothing wrong with gingers.
Listen, I completely agree. I think they've got a way better quality of life nowadays than
the
what
story.
they used to have.
It's just Barry used to be very fond of jibing gingers.
Right.
See, I have a beautiful sister who has
Joanne.
red hair. Yes.
Yeah.
And he'd be very fond of taking the piss out of the gingerness.
Oh, right.
And now he has a ginger daughter.
But that's what happens, man. Don't jibe the gingers.
Yeah, because you end up with one.
Yeah, you end up with one. That's what happens when you jibe the gingers. Listen, redheads are a dying breed. I think they're absolutely beautiful. I love nothing better than pale skin and red hair. Your sister Joanne is gorgeous, man.
Yeah. And I've no doubt, and Barry will hate me saying this, I've no doubt that his daughter will be very gorgeous when she grows up.
Listen, Barry, the second she's 18, give me a shout, man. Why did I say that? Barry's massive.
I know.
He's going to hate me without salt.
Remind Barry, have you met Grace yet? Grace will kill you.
Jesus.
We might have to cut all this out. But Barry, a lifetime of jibing is now going to befall you.
Look, but we are actually delighted for you. Congratulations and all the health in the world. For play cheat. That was episode 51, Ray. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Great to be back in the room.
That's it. In fairness now, I'm still reading Chuck Norris jokes in fairness.
Send us in your Chuck Norris jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave us with one more, Ray?
There's one more that I really enjoyed and
okay.
I can't.
Okay, Ray's going to leave you with one more. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, we see you next week. Good luck. Ray, send us home.
Chuck Norris does not sleep. He waits. And you'll be waiting for next week to episode 52. So we'll see you then, huh? Good luck.
Good luck.